Benevolent is in the business of providing care and accommodation to the elderly in our community. We're a specialist in providing complex high care and dementia care. But it's not just about providing care and accommodation, we provide a lifestyle. So we have diversional therapists that provide activities and social outings. We have a hairdressing salon, we have coffee shops. It's all about lifestyle.
Quality of care at Benevolent is exceptionally high. We've invested a huge amount over the last 20 years or so in staff education. You don't have an endless pool of registered nurses in the industry, so we rely very, very heavily on our personal carers, and so we ensure that they're trained to a standard that gives the best possible clinical care.
Our objective is to personalise our care so that each of those residents feels like they are in their home and they haven't lost too much of their life. We try to link into what their past was and personalise and centre their care around that.
There's a great demand in the community. We have an ageing demographic and we're currently embarking on an expansion plan, and we have the space to build extra accommodation. The new expansion is really exciting. We will be constructing 54 new bedrooms. On the ground floor of this construction we will have a multi-purpose function centre, a chapel, a gymnasium. We've got a lovely little coffee shop going in with landscaped gardens and a day respite centre.
We've been here a very long time, we know what we're doing. We have staff who are passionate about the industry and about the residents. You develop long-term relationships with residents in aged care. Someone doesn't come in, get better, go home. They come in here to live their life. So it's all about living the best life you can.
Each of the ladies gets up and we do a hair and makeup routine with jewellery and so forth, as they would have done prior to coming in here. The men do shaving and after shaving, and we make a big deal of those kind of normal type lifestyle things that you would do.
For a long time there's been a stigma about coming into a nursing home and the type of food that you would eat. That's why 2 years ago we made the decision to employ a qualified chef.
As far as quality of food goes, there's not much different from what we do to what your everyday restaurant would do. Everything is fresh cook. There's no kind of ready-to-eat, bought-in meals. There's a lot of fear, and I think there's a bit of a stigma with aged care food that everything's kind of pureed and overcooked and bland and grey-looking. But the reality here is that it is all fresh to go. It is, you know, there's chefs working here alongside me that make sure the ingredient goes out the way we order it in. I love to cook for people. It's the same no matter where you are for me. Aged care, restaurants, it's watching that enjoyment on people's faces, giving them something that they are impressed with, that has changed their day or their night, or for an aged care facility changed their life in some ways. That's what's rewarding to me.
This is one of our dining rooms, so not only do we have the qualified chef, we have beautiful spaces for the residents to enjoy their meals. It's very easy to walk into an aged care facility and see bricks and mortar, or to see the drape, but I think really it is about people, and I think it's about relationships. So I think what makes Benevolent different is that we're very family orientated.
When people are first coming into care, they're very, very fearful. This is not their home, not what they're used to. They feel fear they'll lose their independence and their decision making to a great extent as well. So initially they can be very reserved, very upset, very teary sometimes as well. But after staying a couple of weeks, and it usually takes a couple of weeks to settle into a new environment like this, it's very different. You're living with a lot of other people. But then they start seeing the advantages and experiencing the advantages of the social interactions, the fun that people have here. It's basically older person's Facebook. They're making these connections and reconnecting, and it's beautiful to see, and they catch up with the changes over the last 50, 60, 70 years.
Benevolent's such a great place because it's got so many open spaces and so many places where we can take residents, or residents can go if they want to just get out of the building. I really am a person who likes to be outside. I don't like being cooped up, so I can't imagine when I'm older having to stay in a room, even though the rooms are wonderful. There are daily touching stories that make you laugh, make you cry, make you ponder what the hell the world is about.
My mum come to Benevolent a few years ago now, but she was here for 5 years altogether before she passed away. A lot of old people, whatever, don't like coming to aged care or losing their independence, but coming to Benevolent here with the staff looking after us, and her in particular, it was just a wonderful experience. From day one, it was just great.
You can see the smiles on the residents' face, on how much they appreciate the way that the staff actually cares for them. And we're very focused on a family environment at Benevolent.
We have residents now whose parents were cared for in Benevolent, and you develop very long-term relationships. We get to know the resident, what their likes, their dislikes, their hobbies, what their previous life was about.
It's not just a place where they're being clinically cared for, it's a place where they can feel they're at home.
Well, I'm Beth, and I'm a resident here at the Benevolent Aged Care. I came to Benevolent because my health had come to a stage where I knew that I couldn't manage at home on my own, and Benevolent was, the place to come, I thought. Oh, the food here, I love it. To me, it's healthy, home-cooked meals, and there's lots of little specials they do that I wouldn't even do at home. I think of the staff as family, really, because they are my family now. I interact, sort of with all of them, but I do have some favourites, but try not to show it.
It doesn't feel clinical, and I think that's a really important thing. Feeling, I think, is such a powerful emotion, and I think that this place does evoke feelings for people. The types of people that have come in and out of these doors, I think I just can't help but think that it's not all linked, and I think it's about spirit, and I think it's about the feeling, and I think the closer we work with people, the tighter those bonds become.
We're providing a really nice community hub for our residents, and a place where family and visitors can come to enjoy time with their relatives. It's really exciting.
Personally, I'm enormously proud to be, nearly 20 years of the 150 years of Benevolent's history. It's brought me great satisfaction. You don't stay in aged care unless you absolutely love aged care, and you don't stay in an aged care facility unless it's an incredibly rewarding experience, which working at Benevolent is.
The social life here is good, really. They cater quite a lot for there's concerts and different activities. Well, I would recommend anyone to come here because the staff take great care of you, and the atmosphere is lovely too.
Benevolent Aged Care has allowed Mum to enjoy another wonderful stage of her life, and our family is happy and contented, knowing that our mother is contented, secure, and receiving excellent care in a very professional manner.